Everything I've done, both good and bad, I've done for my family.
Okay, so a lot of you on this channel probably know about the Mafia 1 remake coming up and the Mafia trilogy release, because I talked about it so extensively the past week. And it's perfect that you do, because it is something so ambitious and out of nowhere that it needs to be talked about, right? It came out of nowhere one day with a teaser trailer and announced a new bundle of all 3 Mafia games, with Mafia 2 Definitive Edition, Mafia 3 Definitive Edition, and the Mafia 1 Edition, which is the remake we're all waiting for. A completely remade open world Mafia 1 a la Resident Evil 2 is what I've always wished for, besides Mafia 4 in Las Vegas, of course. You can't not be excited for this. It looks and sounds so great. I really want to thank Hangar 13 and 2K Games for actually doing this. I never thought it would happen. In fact, Hangar 13 have only been working on this Mafia 1 remake, while some unknown company worked on the Mafia 2 remaster and the Mafia 3 one, which is why both games look just a bit different than the originals. Now, I hope 2K Games and Hangar 13 are watching this video, because I want to ask you who is taking care of the marketing for this Mafia trilogy, remake, definitive edition, or whatever you want to call it. How is a full-on Mafia 1 remake not really known or talked about by the public? Why share only a small 15-second teaser when the game's release is in 2 months? Did all of you guys watching this video know we will see our first look at Mafia 1 gameplay early next month? Or did you know the open world will be much bigger than the original? I bet you didn't, because they're not throwing it out there and it's damaging the game's popularity, which should be a lot higher at the moment. Now, first off, 2K released Mafia Trilogy on May 19 with very little lead up, and while it should have been a resounding revival of a classic open world Grand Theft Auto style series, the actual delivery of this bundle has felt really confusing and incomplete. This Definitive Edition bundle, as they call it, includes Mafia 1, Mafia 2 and Mafia 3, but the whole thing is being released in an unconventional manner, with only some of the games being available on some platforms as of May 19. And the sole fact the games are called Definitive Edition doesn't help a bit. A lot of people will see Mafia 1 Definitive Edition and won't think it is a complete remake, instead just a small remaster with DLCs included or something close to it. The remake of Resident Evil 2 was straightforward and only called Resident Evil 2, nothing more. It also doesn't help that Mafia 2 and Mafia 3 are also called Definitive Edition, which both are small remasters with little to no change brought to it. The 2 versions have all previously released DLCs and upgrades the resolution to 4K. If you've never played Mafia 2 or 3, it might be worth giving it a look, but for returning players it is disappointing, unfortunately. The latest entry in the series, Mafia 3, got the least love out of any part of the Mafia trilogy, as this game was already available on PS4 and Xbox One, and it simply bundles all of the released DLC together. There's nothing new here, so only give this part of the collection a shot if you haven't played Mafia 3 or its DLCs before. Now, the only game out of the bundle that hasn't released is Mafia 1 Remake, and that is where all the love went, which the game is releasing on August 28th. It might be less popular than what I had hoped for, considering its weird name and confusing bundle. If you want to promote an upcoming AAA game, which is Hangar 13's most massive project at the moment, this isn't the best way to advertise it. It should have been announced without the bundle and at a later date. Now, the place where this game could redeem itself is actually very soon, in 2 weeks. If you want to get all the latest information, Mafia 1 will be present and showing some kind of gameplay at the PC Gaming Show on June 6, which is extremely soon when you think about it. I'm extremely hyped for it, and make sure you stay tuned as I will be live streaming the entire show on my channel. The event will also be revealing other massive games, so there's gonna be lots of things to get excited about.
Hey, come on, take a shot, hurry up there.
So, Mafia 1 is getting remade from the ground up. This applies to the visuals, which will have a brand new graphic engine and 4K with HDR support, as well as gameplay, which is getting expanded with a much larger Lost Haven world for exploration of all sorts. Hopefully it'll have some side activities to do in it. There's also the addition of motorcycles, which are a first in any Mafia game, and also new collectibles. It will feature an updated script with tons of new dialogues and comes complete with additional cutscenes, plus all new gameplay sequences and features, as said. The sequences have been teased in the trailer. While the remake looks great in the screenshots that have been going around, we still haven't seen the game in action yet, but we will be very soon. The game will be at a price of $60 US, which means it is indeed a completely new game at full price. The game's story follows cab driver turned mobster Tommy Angelo as he joins the ranks of the Salieri crime family during Prohibition in the 1930s. The first Mafia is set in the fictional city of Lost Haven, Illinois. This first game in the Mafia series originally hit PC in 2002 with console ports afterward in 2004. At the time, the game was revered for its cinematic approach to storytelling and an open world that portrayed a believable Chicago-inspired city. It was a crime drama centered around Italian mobsters, and it's perfect that we're going back to the classics. Many of the original game stylings and mechanics are outdated now, of course, but with the screenshots that popped up, we now know that how significant of an overhaul the Mafia 1 remake will be. Alright guys, if you cannot wait to see the gameplay reveal in 2 weeks, make sure you drop a like on this video and stay tuned on the channel by subscribing. Thanks to Jigglyboy and I Am Legend for being a master member on the channel. You can become a survivor member for 99 cents only. It'll help me and the channel as a whole. Thanks for watching.